so creamy. And then I added, there's this far left commentator, Sink Yodor, who says Kamala's done. And the New Jersey governor couldn't say that he agreed with one of Kamala's policies.
Oh, yeah.
CNBC money guy who used to be a
that.
hardcore Democrat. And he's like, dude, give me one policy. And they're all financial.
Can't do it.
New Jersey governor
Who
refused to.
can? You know?
We have a picture of Biden biting the baby yesterday.
Fighting.
Oh, he was biting a baby. La, 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 la. New York Post says dumpster fire today. It has Kamala and Biden like sitting on a dumpster like all bummed out. And then we get into the Washington woman with 16 ballots. ABC stations, and all it was just, we were just testing.
Yeah, of course. Just
Michigan Secretary of State saying, yes, there's problems with Dominion. You're just going to have to be patient. Another voter on a ballot has voted 29
The
times.
funny thing is why are they testing?
Right. A couple days before the election. That makes zero sense.
Are we on, Joe? Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Joe, did you send me that link? Okay, thank you.
Joe.
Joe, what would we do without you? Don't answer that, Joe.
Don't tell him that.
Don't answer that. We know where we would be. Boy, I'm feeling really scared with this music. How about
Hey,
you,
Joe.
Rick?
Oh, I see. Never mind. Do we need to come in closer on me?
We can.
Do you feel like you look really good today? Is that why you
No.
do you want to close up?
No. I feel like you're closer up,
Yeah.
so I want to be like
You want to match?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like matchy.
Is it on the same warmth as yesterday? Okay. Thanks, Joe.
This is the show before the show. Good morning, Ben Kahn.
Hello, Ben. Cindy. Happy Halloween.
Where's my
All
phone?
right. Joe, do you see Vic's phone out there? Do you see his phone?
Hey, since you're not doing anything and you haven't done anything, could you grab my phone, please?
And then turn your microphone on.
Yes, Robert, we're going to talk about voter fraud today. That's part of what we're doing.
Turn your mic on.
Thank you.
Oh. Voter fraud. What? Is there voter fraud going on?
Franken Vic. Maybe it's the hair. It's because my hair's
Oh,
more.
black on black.
That could be it too.
Yeah. Give your
Glasses or no glasses for the Halloween show?
I don't know. What do you think, Greg? Glasses or no
Don't
glasses?
ask Greg.
Hey,
he
look.
wears glasses.
Give your front bangs a little
Yeah, it's
a
too-
little swip to the left.
Here, guys.
Here.
She does my hair. There we go. I don't know if people realize you're a stylist. Is it once a stylist, always a stylist?
I don't know. I mean, probably. I mean, it's just kind of in your blood. You know what I mean? Like you're always looking at people's hair and you're always looking at people's makeup and.
Can you work with this after I've already?
Yeah, no, it's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Greg says no glasses. Ooh, I don't know about a fire in Missouri, Susan.
Fredericktown.
Like, subscribe,
Oh.
share the show. Let's go.
Good morning, Donna. Happy Halloween.
It's a lithium battery factory, by the way. There
Oh,
was
really?
evacuations, yeah.
Oh my. That sounds horrible. Was anybody hurt?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. One person says no glasses. The other, then
Mhm.
Cindy says they look good.
Trump and Kamala. Yeah, we could have. That's true. I would have had to find a polyester oversized pantsuit.
Did somebody say Trump?
I think so.
Hello.
Hello, Trump.
I'm
There he
huge.
is. I knew he was coming.
I'm huge, everybody.
You're huge. You're trash. You're
Kamala.
nothing but garbage.
She's nuts.
She's just so nuts.
She's a loser.
She's horrible. I do actually really like the screen though, Joe. I love it.
The background, yeah.
Yeah, the Halloween and then the
Yep.
skeleton
It's very
sitting.
Trump.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
all orange.
Trumpish.
Thank you. Like my face.
Anybody
Yeah.
going anywhere tonight? Not I, Cindy. No, I might be driving one of my kids around for some Halloween shenanigans, but other than that, no. Trump was so cute in the garbage truck. I got the biggest kick out of him doing his entire speech in that uniform. Now you need glasses. I know, Donna. I love the background too. Good morning, Addie. Addie's in Afton. Happy Halloween. What color did Trump's hair look? I didn't notice that, which is something else. Cindy, what will you give your trick-or-treaters, your 2 to 3 trick-or-treaters? Do you have something special that you do, or just like the usual Snickers? What else is like the usual these days? Is Milky Way, Three Musketeers, that Reese's, stuff like that? Does anybody are we allowed to give Reese's out with all the allergies that children have these days?
That's ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
What are you?
Well,
A liberal?
I just wonder how that happened.
Are you a soft, wussified liberal?
Do you give out
What's wrong with you?
wussy candy for Halloween? Do you give out pencils and erasers?
The
for
wussification of America.
Paper clips.
Paper clips, yeah. Oh my goodness.
What are you giving out to little boys? Tampons? Timmy.
Wouldn't that be something? If, oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear tomorrow if there's any weirdos out there that we see on the news that's giving out feminine products to trick-or-treaters to make them feel included and safe and loved and seen and heard.
Do you remember back in the day when the cheerleaders and the football players would trade uniforms for Halloween?
Oh yeah, we did that too. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
cute. Yep, and it was easy.
These days it wouldn't go off.
We never
the same.
did that.
Didn't?
No.
Yep.
No.
It was really easy. It was hilarious too when the guys were squeezed in the
Right.
cheerleading uniforms with their legs hanging out and don't. Good morning, Paul. I'm sitting here acting like I have nothing to look at. I don't even have my notes out today. What's happening? I'm just sitting here like I'm at my dinner table, not looking or reading anything, and there's a lot going on. So, happy Halloween. Mark, I just love that you get your news from somewhere unknown to human civilization. Yep, Trump's in the house, Heather. Good morning. He's here. He's sitting across the table and he won't stop staring at me. He's just staring at
It's
me.
because you're beautiful.
Yes, beautiful.
Look at you in your dress.
Gorgeous. Good morning, Tanya. Yes, it's Friday. Good morning, Mitch. Howdy. 9 o'clock.
I know. Let's give him one more minute.
DJT.
Where did you get this music, Joe?
Eric's going to be shocked when he sees Donald Trump is here today.
It's a restream thing. It's a special holiday mix.
I like it.
It's very fitting.
It is. Oh, it is. It is Thursday, Heather.
What do you mean?
Well, one of our listeners was like, it's Friday and it's a great thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's Friday. Yay. Heather's like, it's not Friday. It's Thursday, folks. Okay. All right. It's Thursday.
9:01.
I don't know why I feel like it's Friday.
Okay.
Connie, you are so funny. That would be funny.
I'm doing a timing to see how much of a delay there is. Oh, there's a delay of about 30 seconds.
30?
To Facebook? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was doing that coffee drink right now.
30?
Yeah, okay. We're good. We can start the show.
Alrighty.
Presents partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO-targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together. And with that, we say good morning. Happy Halloween, everybody. October 31st, 2024. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, Pro Joe in the house as well, behind the scenes. Thanks for jumping in. It's time to have a big show. Like, subscribe, share the show. You know what we do here. We have done 4 straight shows this week. We will not be here tomorrow, but maybe every week, every day next week. We'll see. It's going to get really interesting with everything going on with the 2024 election. You know what we do? News headlines, politics, cancel culture, education, everything with the election that's going on. And my, oh my, is there a lot going on? Once again, we are currently watching history. We call it the most important time in America's history right now. And we're watching the best campaign we have ever seen by Donald Trump, arguably the worst campaign we've ever seen with Kamala Harris, yet the media continues to tell us it's a close race. Okay. Maybe they're looking at the cheating that's going on. And we're going to talk about the fraudulent activities that are happening today coming up. Joe Biden, once again, the left is trying to disassociate themselves with him so bad. Just remember, all these people that were telling us that Joe Biden is going to beat Trump and he's fit to be president just months ago are the same people that are now saying, oh, Kamala's great. And now they want nothing to do with Joe Biden. Joe Biden was biting a baby again yesterday. I mean, you want to talk about the dumbest mother trucker, weirdest, bizarre. And all these left liberals loved him. They talked about him like he was God until they got rid of him and then he wasn't. So just remember, these are the kind of people you're dealing with. On top of that, Donald Trump turned the garbage comment that Joe Biden made, and he's trying to back off of it. And KJP's lying because that's what she does. She's the worst liar in the history of this country. And all of those things going on right now just shows you that it's the dumbest, most racist most ignorant ticket that we have ever seen by either party.
Mhm.
Joe Biden, the president, Kamala, the vice president running for president, Tim Walz, KJP. I mean, they're all a bunch of idiots, just flat out dumb, lying idiots. And Trump used that to his advantage yesterday. And he just continues to fly high. There will never be a campaign this good again. Ever, ever, ever. And it all started yesterday. Eric Johnson on his way in too, by the way. What I loved about this yesterday, let's just start right up. You get called garbage, you make the most of it.
Yes,
Donald
you do.
Trump showed up in his dump truck yesterday in his orange vest right here. Look at him showing up, and he was loving it. This is what you do
I love him.
if you're Donald Trump.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. How do you
That's
like my
right.
garbage?
We love
Love
it,
it.
Donald. And Kamala wouldn't say anything, and then she was trying to distance herself a little bit last. I'm once again, it should have immediately. You don't call over 250 million Americans garbage and not come up and go against it, Megan.
No, you don't. But the whole thing has just really turned into a joke, and we will not be seeing Joe Biden between now and Tuesday again.
Oh my God!
I mean, that they knew that they should never have let him out to say anything, and then he goes, and many people believe that it was that the left didn't know about it, that he had this conference call with this Puerto Rican community leader, and that's when all of this just unfolded. And if you go back and you listen to him, and when he did say that, the supporters of Donald Trump are garbage, it's clear there's no, maybe he didn't say it, maybe he did, maybe he was referring to the comedian, maybe he was referring to just people at MSG, maybe. No, there was no maybes. He clear as day said that we, the supporters of Donald Trump, are garbage. There's no
we
ifs,
showed that
ands, or
soundbite
buts
yesterday.
about it.
Yeah, we showed it yesterday.
Yeah. And, and it's just so funny. And even the left, like even CNN, they're like, are you really trying to say that that he said it with an apostrophe after it? So now what they're trying to do is they're trying to read his mind.
They're gaslighting us.
Yeah. And there's like, oh, well, you heard it wrong. So yeah, they're gaslighting us. They're like, you're so dumb. You heard it wrong. There was an apostrophe after that. And it's like, oh my gosh, just stop. Just stop already. You're making a bad situation way, way worse. We know what he said. And, for KJP to stand up there, I thought this whole talk about comedy.
Yeah, here she is. Let's show KJP right now. And Cindy, before we do this, please bring up what has happened in St. Charles County with the election director, Kurt Barr, when we talk about that, because we're going to be talking about election fraud and if rights are being violated in any way coming up a little bit later in the show. But here is Megan, her intro into KJP. Listen, they're gaslighting us. Listen to this.
Can you just address the president's comments yesterday referring to Trump supporter as garbage?
A couple of things. So just to clarify, he was not calling Trump supporters garbage.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Which is why this is why he wanted to make sure that we put out a statement that clarified what he meant and what he was trying to say.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
And so just want to make that very clear for folks who are watching. And I just want to read that out to folks. So he was regarding to the comedian. And I quote, I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable.
Latinos.
That's all I meant to say. The comments at the rally don't reflect who we are as a nation. And to your question, your other question that you asked, no, he does not view Trump supporters or anybody who supports Trump as garbage. That is not what he views.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
So I was out for a run when I was listening to this, and I was like, okay, where's Peter Doocy? Where's Peter Doocy? Come on, Doocy. Like, get in there and Doocy this woman. But nobody did. Like, they kind of let her, for whatever reason, they kind of let her get away with this yesterday. And I was really, really shocked about it.
This is why I don't like Democrats right now, because they lie. Mm-hmm. This has nothing to do with who you are as a person. It has to do with your character. Stop lying. Right. Stop lying about your sexuality. Be who you are. People will accept you. Stop lying about policy. Stop lying about what we see. Stop gaslighting us. Stop telling us what is bad is good and what is good is bad.
Yeah. Well, and again, she's speaking to the American people as though they are dumb. She's saying, "Oh, well, you heard it wrong. This is what this is.
Oh yeah, we heard
just
it wrong.
Because this is what he said. That's not what he meant. And if you were smart enough, you would know what he meant." And then, the whole premise of that part of her press conference was, look, we here at the White House and this administration, we call people out when they say hurtful, hateful, divisive things. We call people out. Joe Biden has always called people out, and he will continue to do so. And he did not like that disgusting, discriminating, divisive talk that came from Madison Square Garden. So he called it out. And what did he do? He called it out by being equally as divisive and disgusting and, fear-mongering. It's like, wait a minute. So you're saying you're trying to make an excuse for why he said something with the same excuse. Like it makes no sense. And so them treating the American people like they're ignorant, it's got to stop. I mean, it just absolutely has to stop. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm listening and I'm like, is she seriously saying?
She is.
She's giving him an excuse to be divisive and awful and say horrible things about people because someone else did. And it's like, okay, how old are we here? I mean, and for her to stand up there, and again, it's like Tim Walz, it's the but, and it's like, just be the adult just once, just say, you know what?
It's impossible. Megan.
That's not
it's
what he
gonna
meant.
happen.
We apologize and move on from it.
Well, it happened. They made the most of it. Trump, it's only pushing him even further and further ahead of her. And we're going to talk about some of the fraudulent things that are trying to happen. And I say trying to happen because people are pushing them, they're pushing it because there's already massive cheating going on. Because there's no way the best campaign in the history of this country, the most popular president we have ever seen going into election, loses it. There's no way. There's absolutely no way it happens. And not only that, but the left continues to run the worst campaign, the whole garbage stuff. And then Trump, we showed you in his dump truck. Well, here he is last night showing up in Wisconsin in his orange vest. Just listen. To not only arguably the best president we've ever had with the best policies and one of the most successful runs as president, but one of the funniest, most down-to-earth people you will ever come in contact with.
Thank you very much. So this outfit, is when he called us all garbage. How stupid. What a stupid word. That blows deplorable away, don't you think? Of course, I thought irredeemable when she said deplorable or irredeemable. I thought irredeemable was actually worse, but deplorable seemed to catch up. But this garbage stuff blows it away. So I'm in this beautiful plane. I'm enjoying myself. I have a wonderful suit on.
And of course, he's loving it, playing with the moment.
And one of my people came in and said, "Sir, the word garbage is the hottest thing right now out there. The hottest thing out there. Sir, would you like to drive a garbage truck?"
This is eating the left alive.
Now, we're about, 30 minutes from landing. We had to do this pretty quick. I said, it's sort of cool, though, isn't it? Because, and I said, I think that's okay, but, I don't feel comfortable wearing a suit. And they pulled up this garbage truck. I don't know how the hell they did it so fast. I have very capable people. They put a big sign on the truck. Did you see it? I think they showed it.
It's because Trump gets things done. Unlike Biden.
And then they said, "Sir, we have a vest." I said, "Well, should I leave my suit on and put it over the vest?" But that doesn't look very good, right? That doesn't look good. So I said, "All right, look, let me take it off." And then I actually said, I climbed into the truck, but so I said, "How the hell do you get into this truck? It's way up high. It's a big one." This was a beauty. I said, "You didn't have to buy it that big, right? You have to get it that big?" They brought this brand new, gorgeous truck, wonderful driver. He looked like Cary Grant in his prime. You know who that is? This beautiful driver. And he drove that big thing up. And I said, man, this is bad, because now I have all the cameras are all what? Look at all the fake news. They were, most of them. No, most of them, many of them were there. And I'm saying, oh, boy. You know, one little mistake with these guys and your political career is over. You can't even. So I said, man, if I don't get up there, this is going to be very embarrassing. These stupid people, they'll say, he's cognitively and physically impaired.
What a sense of humor.
Oh,
and I can't do that when I'm alongside of this great athlete. I got to get up to that. So look, the first stair is like up here. I'm saying, shit. So I had the adrenaline going, and I made it.
He's so good.
He is
so good.
Once again, there is no comparison. He's going to win the election unless there is massive cheating. We have never seen a comeback story. We have never seen a personality, a man who backs with policy, a man who doesn't back down, a man who answers the questions, a man who has a plan, and also a man who's already done the job and did it successfully the first time. A man who had an election stolen from him in 2020 at best, when you look at all the evidence and everything that has come out after the fact. Now, you're going to tell me that there's nobody better. There just isn't. He is experienced. He is grizzled. He has been through all kinds of things in his life. He has lived the high life. He has lived the low life. He knows what it's like to be attacked. He knows what it's like to get shot. He knows exactly what it's like to have your life turned upside down, yet there he is standing still with just a few days before the election when he wins it, unless there's some sort of massive cheating that goes on and it gets extended. And we're going to get into that later in the show. How good is he?
He's so good. And he's the only human being on the face of the earth that's capable of making garbage become beautiful and amazing.
It's
and
beautiful.
I mean, he did. I mean, look what he did. He just transformed garbage. And I mean, I cannot wait to see pictures tomorrow of how many people go out tonight for Halloween dressed as a sanitation, employee of some kind, or just garbage or whatever. Oh my gosh, I just cannot wait to see it. I think it's going to be hysterical. But yeah, I mean, this guy, he's got the greatest sense of humor, and it was quick. And kudos to his team for turning that around that quick and showing up with a truck with Trump's name on it, and just the whole thing was great. And way to make light of a horrible.
And I've heard
horrible
Democrats say, well, he's not running against Biden. Kamala didn't say it. Well, here's the problem. Now, I know Democrats are lacking in brain power. I know they're lacking when it comes to actually being able to talk about policy without letting her rage. They're unhinged. They can't have a normal conversation with you without losing their freaking minds.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala didn't say it. You know what? Kamala did not come out and say Biden messed up. He screwed up. She's trying to now disassociate herself after several hours of it just sitting there because she's getting crushed. The last thing they need is their dumbass out there, lost uncle, messing up more things for her because they can't be with him and they can't be without him. And that is the freaking president of the United States. It's bad. This is as bad as we've ever seen. There has never been a campaign by a presidential candidate as bad as the one that Kamala and her team of Democrats are running. Sometimes it's so bad, I think it's done on purpose because there's no way they can be this bad by chance.
You have to wonder.
And that Trump's campaign can be this good.
I know. Yeah.
It's too damn good. It's too easy. And it makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm like, I've never seen a campaign go as good as it has gone for Donald Trump.
Well, and the thing is, too, is that, no, Donald Trump is not running against Joe Biden. But guess what? He was until they yanked him out and propped her in. So he was at one time, running against Joe Biden. And, let's not forget, too, that Kamala Harris is not a newbie showing up to the scene. She's not this, person that just came in and decided to run. She is sitting in the current administration. She is the vice president of the United States right now. with Joe Biden being our president. They have been a team, as Joe Biden likes to say. They are the same song from the same song page, or whatever, whatever he tries to say. So, you know what? He wants nothing more than for the American people to think that they are united. That, and you know what? She's even said herself, I have been in on all of the big decisions, all of the, the best legislation that has happened, in the United States in the last 4 years. I have been a part of that, so one day she wants to make it seem like, she's been leading this country, into the sunset for the last 4 years. And now she's sitting with her tail between her legs because she knows that Joe Biden is saying things that make her look, well, if she could look any worse, make her look horrible, absolutely horrible. And for her to, evade the question when, she was asked about Joe Biden calling Republican supporters garbage, Trump supporters, I should say, garbage. What did she say? She wanted to go on and tell everybody how she's been to 3 states and she's going to continue to go on. And we're like, what? What?
Yeah.
Well,
she's
on Mars.
The support for Trump is amazing. And last night, another guy showed up in Wisconsin, a state hero, Brett Favre, Mr. Favre, showed up to talk about Donald Trump. And, the crowd went crazy for Brett Favre.
I want to address the comment that Joe Biden made yesterday, or last night, that said the supporters of Donald Trump, us, are garbage. Or garbage. I can assure you we're not garbage. How dare he say that looking out? I see police officers, teachers, nurses, grandparents, students. I see everyday Americans that make this country great. I want to address
Brett Favre doing what he can do to support people when it comes to this campaign, because Brett Favre has never been somebody that's come out, but he's like, man, this is the most important election and the most important time that we've ever had in the history of this country. So he's like, I've got to say something. And by the way, I heard a Democrat on TikTok yesterday from California trying to rip Nick Bosa, all-pro defensive lineman for the San Francisco 49ers, because he popped a MAGA hat on during the football game the other night in the end of the broadcast. And guess what happened? All these liberals came out in California against Nick Bosa and said, let's ban Nick Bosa. Let's cancel Nick Bosa. Guess what has happened in a matter of days? Nick Bosa now has the #1 selling NFL jersey in 2024. See, this is what happens. Canceling's over. Bullying people is over, left. It's over. You've been bullying people for a long time, but now you can't bully people anymore because the other side is woken up. The other side is not afraid to go out and support who they want to, because that's what this country is all about. Sure, you want to go out and try to cancel somebody, you have that right. But guess what? The other side, the supporters, have a right to come out and say the other side of the story. Nick Bosa now has the #1 selling NFL jersey. Too bad, so sad. Deal with it, Dems, because you can't let your hate overrule other people anymore. Brett Favre said, I need to come out and speak. And that's exactly what he did. This whole show kind of came out of about people getting canceled. We didn't want to see that to people. We're going to speak truth and then let the chips fall where they may. And my gosh, we see that things are changing. Mm-hmm. So if anybody bought a Nick Bosa jersey because of that, not for his, as I'm told by Kelly Mano, his amazing thighs, because of his political outcry, then good. I'm glad to see it. Mm-hmm. So Brett Favre, hey, come out and tell me you're not trash. And none of us are trash because we support Donald Trump.
Yeah. I mean, and if that's going to be the latest name that the Democrats are going to use to call, people on the right, because they love to call names and they love to come up with new names and whatever. And I'm totally okay with it. I mean, if you're going to call me garbage or trash or whatever, I mean, I've been called worse, let me tell you. And so, it's just one of those things. It's in one ear and out the other. And they act like children, and they're just constantly name calling.
And if you say something that they don't want to hear, or God forbid you speak the truth about something, they literally just come unglued. And then they start throwing the names, acting like children, like you said. They start throwing fits. They just can't handle it. And you know how many people are sitting there thinking like Brett Favre right now? I mean, there are just people all across this country, all across this world that are so sick and tired of this game that the left is trying to play. And so, I think that he speaks for millions of Americans.
He does.
When he comes forward and says these things. But yeah, and I think
there's
that
another side now. People are standing up. I mean, look what the New York Post did yesterday. Last night. Well, it's for today. Did you see the cover of the New York Post today?
I didn't.
Oh, this is what it is.
Oh.
For our listeners on the podcast.
You guys, this is amazing.
It says dumpster fire, and then it has Kamala and Biden sitting on the edge of a dumpster fire, on a dumpster that's on fire. It says outrage over Biden's garbage. Voters slur threatens to burn down Harris's campaign. This coming after many newspapers now are refusing to endorse Kamala Harris. Once again, this is not a close election. I'm sorry, it's not. It is not a close election. It's not. And something is very, very wrong if we start to see numbers that are close, because it's not. All the evidence shows you, and you're a smart person, shows you what would happen. We're going to get to that. But my God,
and we're already starting to see issues. We're already starting to see issues. I was sitting at a table last night at a dinner with some folks, and nobody knows who anybody's voting for. And someone brought up the fact that there's already been, a guy that has voted like 29 times and was finally caught.
Well, let's get into that. I want to show one more thing before we get into that.
But this guy, and no one has said whose side they're on or who they're voting for. And this guy just so simply, eloquently, and factually goes, well, I think we can all, make a really good guess on who he's voting for. So, I mean, people just know. I mean, and people now, like we're saying, they're not afraid to say it anymore. I mean, this guy could have been sitting at a table with all Democrats and him being the only Republican. And he's just like, hey, well, we all know that if you're caught cheating, we know whose side you're on.
Well, we want to get into that real quick too. Biden, once again, after we already know he's the worst president in the history of this country. And all those Democrats who were supporting Kamala were as much, if not more, of a supporter for Joe Biden. These are the same people. So don't let them change on you because they're trying to change the topic. These are the same people that supported this evil, sadistic man. And look at what this lying POS did yesterday with another baby. This is why he told us, remember, we showed you the soundbite. He was not allowed to have young children on stage, young girls. He told us, we played here. Mainstream media won't show you because when I talk to liberals, they're like, I'd never heard of this before. No, Timmy Tampon, what? He didn't want that in school. I'm like, these people are so ignorant because they refuse to educate themselves, which makes them ignorant. If you refuse to get educated, then you're ignorant. Sorry, you are. You're dumb, ignorant, stupid, whatever word you want to use. And it's not too hardcore to call you out on that. I would be that way if I refused to get educated. That's why I keep an open mind. We invite Democrats on here all the time. Change our mind. Show us, prove to us. Not one shows up because they know they're going to get crushed because they don't have facts or policy. Look at Biden yesterday. There's video of this. I chose to show the picture, the still. The same guy that called you all garbage for supporting Trump was biting a baby's leg yesterday. And this sums up your presidency from 2020 to 2024 right there. Gosh. That sadistic Biden crime syndicate family leader who won't be long for this earth. I'm telling you, just wait until after the election. Mark my words, because he's pissed and they don't want him spewing off again. This sums up what they are. This just nasty. Well,
there's no words for this picture.
I used to laugh at him. Now I don't.
There's just no words.
That's why I pulled this out to show this.
In this little baby, I'm going to
make sure all your Democrat friends see this too. And then, well, he's not running against Trump. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's the same guy that you were trying to convince.
Idiots.
3-4 months ago, you were trying to convince us that he was perfect, that he was great, that he was the best president in the history of the United States, that he had a bad debate and that was it. One bad night, and every other night in the last 4 years now has just been awesome and amazing, and he's just
Okay,
he's spectacular.
The chat line had some funny comments. He's a grandpire, Count Dracula. Yeah, no, I get it, but I'm more of like, he's
I
a
don't
sick,
even know.
sadistic man who these Democrats supported. Now they're supporting Kamala, and they are connected.
Mhm.
They are connected, and that is a sad, sick state of affairs to see that guy there. Ugh. Anyway, this all leads into what's happening. I wanted to get this through before we start talking about all of the voter fraud and things that are happening. But because of Biden, because of the polling, things are so bad. Even one of the top far left podcast host, show host, Sink, I can't pronounce his last name, Uigur. I know you guys are intelligent and will figure it out and tell us. Listen to what he had to say about how Kamala's done. This guy despises Trump, despises conservative. He is here telling you that there's no way she's going to win the election.
You were up by 6-7 points at one point, and now you're tied, which means if you're tied at the national level, you're going to lose the race. And right now she's losing in every swing state. That is not a flawless campaign. You were up by 6.
Done. Literally. That is one of the most popular far left commentators saying she's done. She's done. Has no chance of winning unless those Dominion machines start to work. And it's really bad. And if that's not bad enough, look at the New Jersey governor, Murphy, hardcore liberal, on with CNBC. And by the way, kudos to CNBC and their money team, because these anchors are worried about their finances, as we all are. And if you look at all polling, the number one issue for all Americans overwhelmingly is, guess what? The economy. It's number one, followed by illegal immigration. Listen to the governor of New Jersey. He can't give a direct answer, and he has put to the fire, give us one policy that you back of Kamala Harris, because the Democrats are running like those cockroaches when you turn the light on, and they don't want to see the light of day.
You like Kamala Harris, not just against. So what are, let me ask you, do you believe we should abolish the filibuster? And you can answer after I do it. How about getting rid of private insurance? How about taxing unrealized gains? How about nationalizing energy? How about mandatory gun buybacks like Australia? How about decriminalizing illegal crossings, ending cash bail, child gender reassignment surgery being paid for in prison? I mean, what are your, raising the corporate tax rate, what are your favorite proposals from Kamala Harris that make you like her so much? Which of
Joe,
those
for a Jersey guy, you sound like you're on the Trump campaign, for crying out loud. Come on, man.
Okay, well, which of those
you're
do you like?
cherry-picking stuff.
Which of those do you like? Which of those do you like? Which of those are you in? Are you in favor of ending the filibuster? We'll go one by one.
Yeah.
Are you?
It is. I'm not sure on the filibuster, honestly, but I think getting fair tax. So you're not going to
talk about any specifics of what's that?
I said I think fair tax policy is
what does that
sensible.
Mean, fair? What does that mean, fair?
This dumbass is a governor. This is how dumb the Democrats are.
You pay what you should pay.
Well, you know I live in your state, Governor. Do you think if I pay 55% total, is that fair for me, or do I need to pay 80%? What would be fair for you? Because I live in your state.
He can't answer.
I know, Joe, I said that up front. Believe me, I know you do. But you sound like you're on the Trump campaign.
No,
I don't know what the right number is, but
go ahead, Andrew.
Well, no, I was going to say what I think is potentially unfair is I think that there's a number of things. There are a number of issues that were embedded in those questions of the governor just now.
He didn't answer a single one about what he's in favor of.
Well, but I think there were a number of those things that she's not in favor of. And that's
Joe,
the
hold
point.
on a second.
She's on the record on every one of these things.
Governor?
Andrew.
Many years ago.
Governor?
Guys, hold on a second. We passed a millionaire's tax 5 years ago. Everybody, Joe, including you, said it would drive people out of New Jersey. We have more millionaires today than we've ever had in our history. So tax
has nothing to do with the question. We can get out right
thing.
now. I just wanted to show you again, the Democrats won't even support Kamala. They won't because they know it's bad business for their own campaigns. She's not winning.
Yeah.
Massive cheating it's not going to happen. Massive cheating is the only way this can happen. Nobody even supports Kamala because she doesn't have policies.
Yeah.
But the left will not show you this. in their media. They won't. Local TV stations won't show you, national won't, but credit and kudos to CNBC for holding that governor's feet to the fire.
Well, and that was just one of several questions that he asked that he could not answer and would not answer. And there was even at one point where he's like, okay, let's just move on to the next question. And he just starts laughing because it's so obvious. Like they literally don't have an answer. They can't answer. And again, like we were talking about the other day, they just want to go back to this whole fair tax thing. I mean, no one on the right, Donald Trump is not saying that he doesn't want to tax, have people that are making, good money. He's not saying that he doesn't want to tax them. So for them to fly off on this, made up tangent about the fact that we're trying to not let the rich be taxed is nuts.
Elon paid $50 billion in taxes, according to Todd, that he had said that. And this is the problem. We all know we've set this up. Kamala Harris has no legal chance at winning. Does she have a chance at winning if there is some sort of illegal activity going on with voting? We don't even have to talk about 2020 because we know what happened. We already know the election stopped for the first time. And then all of a sudden, when it came back on, Trump wasn't winning in 3 states anymore.
Yeah.
And we're talking about states that were won by 11,000, 20,000, 25,000 swing states all of a sudden. And now we've got all kinds of things that are happening. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, an ABC affiliate pushed out a poll, or this happened during a race the other day where they had Kamala winning Pennsylvania by 5%, but they're like, oh, don't worry. This is, we were testing the system. So we just put in fake numbers. Okay, whatever. It's never happened in my 25 years in local news. It never happened. Is it possible? Certainly it's possible. But once again, it makes you wonder. A Washington woman had 16 different ballots sent to her home. Mm-hmm. We also had a Michigan man who is his vote has already been cast 29 times and he has not voted. These are the sorts of things that are starting to happen around the country. Does it make you feel uneasy? It does to me because I continue to see these things happening, but that's not it. You guys see this. Now the RNC put out news this morning through Leading Report. They confirmed that 168,000 duplicate ballots in Michigan were not and will not be accounted for, according to Laura Trump. And that state was won by a couple 10,000s of votes. 168,000 duplicate ballots in Michigan were not and will not be counted. Hopefully that's a good thing. They confirmed they were putting 168,000 ballots into there. These are the kind of things that are happening, people. You have to wake up and you have to call out anything that you see because the reports are starting to come out now. Then, if that wasn't bad enough, I've called this woman out before because she is flat. And this is the woman that wants and thinks it's good for drag queens to be in every school in Michigan. Mm-hmm. The Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, looks into what she has gone after Republicans in the worst way when they were and trying to villainize them for trying to get election results from 2020 and doing the actual research to find out how the election was called in that state. Listen to her talking about issues now with Dominion, admitting that there's problems with Dominion. You cannot make this stuff up.
Issues with the programming of the VATS with specifically from Dominion. Mm-hmm. Why was that only caught in the past few days, and why can't it be fixed? I saw the release.
Yeah, this is a nationwide issue with Dominion voter access terminals in the counties that use them. And the voter access terminals, of course, not all the machines, just the ones that are accessible, have an issue with the straight party voting and a programming issue that's, again, affected the machines nationwide. And I think all of us that use Dominion machines were unhappy to learn about this during the testing period and as early voting began. So we're working with Dominion to seek accountability on that front, and also are working with our clerks to ensure voters are aware of this programming issue that will require them to ensure they are voting every section on the ballot.
Do you think it's a bigger issue in Michigan because we do allow voters to cross over in ways that a lot of other states don't?
Because we have straight party. It's not struck me as I've talked to my other colleagues in other states. They're just as upset about it as we are. So, yeah, or surprised, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Upset. They're not upset. They're the only reason that they're upset is because they're under the microscope now. And the word issue should not even be part of the conversation right now. The
Yeah, how
word
many
issue,
glitches, Megan? How many glitches will favor Democrats?
our United States election is next week, and we're talking about issues in a testing period.
Mhm.
Are you kidding me? The testing
Where's the
period
paper
should have
ballots? I
been 2
agree,
years
Connie.
ago. And there just should not be any issues. And I think that it's, I don't even know.
Greg says
Irresponsible
St. Louis
is not
County
even a
does
word.
not use Dominion. And we're a national show. We broadcast out of the St. Louis area. But there have certainly been issues and problems all throughout the St. Louis area, too, and people are starting to talk about it. Josh Hawley, United States Senator, has a debate tonight with Lucas Kuntz. And it's crazy because, I'm sorry, Lucas Kuntz has no backbone in politics whatsoever, but has a ton of money being sent in by Soros PACs. These are the things that worry me when it comes to the election. This is why we're showing you things that are happening. Facts, not opinions. Facts, not feelings. Facts, not fiction. These are stories that are happening all around the country right now when it comes to voting. And we've already shown you the videos of people's votes being changed. And they're like, wait a second, this isn't what I just voted, and it changed it. You have to freaking do everything you possibly can to make sure before you leave that booth that it says everything that you wanted it to say for whoever you're voting for, Republican or Democrat.
Yeah. And, George Soros right now is putting money behind so many people, including, people going up against David Gregory. So what they're seeing happening is that the Republican Party is really, really, we're on a train, and the train is moving fast and furious, and it's about darn time. And people are scared. And George Soros and people like him, they know what's going to happen. And, and even if it's not this election that makes us turn the corner, it's the people, the future of the Republican Party. We're getting bigger, stronger, better. People are seeing what has happened on the left and what the left has done to our country. And, you're going to see more and more people start putting their money behind these crazy left, governors.
I hope not.
Mayors. It's happening. And, in the other funny thing too, to bring up is the whole thing about Elon Musk, putting the money behind, hey, if you're a voter and you sign, onto these different amendments and say that you support these amendments. Well, now he's being, they're trying to take him to court, slapped him with a case so that, because they're trying to say that what he did was illegal. Trying to get, just saying like, I'm going to put you in $1 million lottery if you say that you support this, that, or the other. And of course they're coming after him because now they're trying to say that he's trying to coerce people to try and register to vote. But look at Mark Zuckerberg. Look at all of these other people. Look at all of the different organizations that these wealthy people have put their money towards. And no one says anything.
Yeah, I know. But I'm worried about the system, the voting system. I mean, you also had a Chinese guy, young man in Michigan, was able to vote, and he voted illegally. And the only reason they caught him is because he went back in to say he wanted to see his vote. Then they looked and saw. If it's happening with one person, how many other people is it happening with? These are things that are seriously concerning me, which is why you have to go vote. You can't take it for granted. A guy following on Twitter, DC Drano, was even saying that there was concern within the RNC party from polling that they do, that they felt like too many men thought that Trump was going to dominate, so they may not be voting as much, and they need to. But also, don't think for a second that just because women have voted that they're voting for Kamala. Don't think it for a second. These are the things that need to be called out, and hopefully, I pray to God the RNC is all over this. They've known about what could happen with voting machines. They've known what could happen with ballots, with illegals. But there are some positives that we have seen going into this election that weren't there in 2020 when it comes to all the illegals and dead people on voter ballots and people getting to vote 20 and 30 times. So we're praying. We're hopeful. But my gosh, you got anything you can do to stop anything, to make sure that everything is being reported, you have to. You just have to, because the election is so damn serious.
Yes, it is. It's super important. And I mean, I don't know about you, but the sad thing is when we're talking about these different things, when we're talking about, this Asian guy that voted and, and then this other guy that never even voted, but it's shown that he's voted 29 times. None of that even makes me blink an eye. I am not shocked. I am not surprised. I think that the left will go to any lengths to try and see what they can get away with. We've seen it happen. And if we are now all of a sudden thinking that the left is going to come in and try to do everything, ethically and fairly, I think that you need to wake up.
And it's just so interesting when it comes to this. I mean, even where in the area where we broadcast in St. Charles County, their elections director we had on last week had a temporary restraining order filed against him because he was allegedly denying poll watchers access that they wanted. It's not going to affect voting on Thursday. Are these situations happening all around the country? It was going on in the St. Louis area, in St. Charles County. We had a viewer bring that up earlier. Man, we're sitting here on Thursday. There's early voting going on, record time, and then now the election coming up fast on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to work out as good as possible. Donna says it's all in God's hands. Yeah, at the end of the day, it is. But God's given us brains as well to do what we can with abilities. You don't just sit there and not vote and say it's all in God's hands. Yeah, I get it. But
and just a quick response to someone on the chat line said that the abortion issue is going to win it for Kamala. And, that brings me back to the thought of the left right now is so upset that a comedian, an insult comedian, that's what he does for a living, is insults people, whether or not the insults that he's, throwing out, whether he believes it or not, that's up to him. But so you're going to be so upset about an insult comedian saying that Puerto Rico is a floating garbage. And yet at the DNC, we're not supposed to be offended or think that it's just absolutely sick that you pull up an abortion truck right outside like it's nothing. You think that that's okay? You think that doesn't look absolutely just so evil on another level? So you know what? That might be the thing that Kamala's supporters love her for, is for abortion. I mean, if that's all you got, I mean, that's pretty sad. And it's really sad that is the only and the main issue that people would vote for her for. But if you're going to start talking about, offending people and people being, all the name calling and everything, again, just to make it very clear for people, you've got the left that are upset about someone saying the garbage or whatever, and then you are going to show up in a parking lot and pull up a truck to go and
we got
murder children.
Yeah, well, we got to hope that this election is as fair as freaking possible, because we've already seen what's happened to Donald Trump over the last year and a half. Mm-hmm. Even Rogan came out this morning. You hear, see this? Joe Rogan talking, because he did 4 hours, almost did 4 hours with JD Vance yesterday. 4 freaking hours with JD Vance, because the right has nothing to hide. They have policies left and right. They have a plan for America. Kamala doesn't. 4 hours. So you'll be seeing that. But Rogan came out and said 100% YouTube did their best to suppress Donald Trump and the YouTube interview, because all of their platform, and we know what it's like. We've been suppressed here by YouTube. Mm-hmm. YouTube canceled our account out of nowhere because TikTok canceled our account because we were getting thousands of followers quickly. We had hundreds of thousands of followers on videos. Within a month and a half, 2 months, we were getting too big, and we were getting too big too fast. We know what it's like here. That's why we asked for support, for financial support, because we know we're doing something right. We know we're getting big. We know we're resonating because people want truth. Well, even Joe Rogan gets suppressed, and Donald Trump suppressed. And I credit Joe Rogan for coming out publicly for this, because it's not like he's been somebody that has been waving the Trump flag, but it's all these people who follow Trump are the ones who've been suppressed or canceled or put out that go, wait a second, it's happened to us. And we go down the list of people from Vivek to Elon to Tulsi Gabbard to RFK Jr. The list is long and distinguished of people who the left and the deep state and the New World Order tries to cancel. It won't stop. They're going to continue to try. But kudos to him for doing that. Once again, Kamala Harris still refuses to do Joe Rogan. They put out these far-reaching goals that they know that Rogan could never reach to try to do an interview. Those are the things that are happening.
Well, and you know, it's funny because I'm thinking about when Trump was banned from Twitter. Okay, American president banned from Twitter because they didn't like what he had to say. But every known terrorist leader in the world, their X account remained open. Freaking Ayatollah.
Of course they did.
He had his,
well, that's before Elon
account.
got involved.
Exactly. You know, and again, people that watch this, they see what's happening. They see how corrupt. And, you know, he was willing to come forward. And I always say there's no reason in the world that Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter, except for the fact is he saw what was happening. And you know what? And he continues to show up and he continues to do what's right and show support for the foundation and the core of the American, country that he loves.
Just think, I think it was 11,000 votes that separated Wisconsin in 2020. That's it, 11,000. I think it was 20,000 that separated Michigan. Start thinking about these things as we get into this election. We're not on tomorrow. We come in Monday, the day before the election, as we try to ramp this up and, of course, bring you all the information that's happening and remind you what happened, because a lot of people tend to forget what the frick happened and how bad it was and just the stuff that literally went down. And now here we go, seeing things happening over and over and over again as we head into this election. That doesn't mean you shouldn't vote. You should. Just make sure everything is being done as good as possible as you can do.
Yep.
I'm just grateful that the RNC was able to stop the Democrats from adding 168,000 duplicate votes in Michigan. That's something to celebrate.
Yeah, it is.
That is, especially when you talk about a state that was won by 20,000 votes. That's how.
Yeah, that's
think about these margins.
More than half of that number.
Because as Americans, we get all this stuff thrown at us, and I think, it goes in one ear, maybe out the other, on with the rest of our day. But my God, this stuff is huge.
Yeah.
And just how easy it would be to cheat. Because people, it's not that easy to cheat. Yeah, it is. Duplicate votes, dead rolls, illegals.
And it has
Make
been
it too big to rig.
It's a close race. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think everybody realizes that. And
why do we think it's a close race?
Well,
why do you think? Because I don't think it's close.
Well, I mean, I think it's relatively close.
But what makes you But what makes you think that it's close?
I would say the polls. From both sides. From all sides. I mean, it's close.
Are you sure it's not what's making you think it's close? Are the national polls that you see and it's been hit you and pounding you with?
Yeah, but I think
because I don't think it's close, because the polling that I look at that's down the middle doesn't show it being close. And what is close considered? Because to me,
that's what I'm saying. It's relative.
7% is not close to me.
Yeah. See, now for me, that's a little close. That's close.
7% for a presidential election? I don't think that's
when
close.
you're dealing with people that are known to skew numbers.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. The only reason I think people think it's close is because of what the national media has thrown at them. And I think that polling's been a bunch of bullshit from the get-go, especially I was a political reporter for 15 years. I was in local news for 25. Every election, local, national, state that I covered, I'm telling you, I've never seen anything this dominant. And pollsters and national polls go so against Donald Trump where I'm like, there's no freaking way. That's why I agree with that Sink guy saying, I see the polls. They're not. She's done. Yeah. That's why I'm like, so I was just curious. Not that it's a big deal. I was just curious why you thought it was close.
Too, I always
because
say,
I hate the media for doing that to people.
I don't put a whole lot into polls. I mean, I'm not taking the polls.
Most people
I know
don't,
that. Yeah,
but they do.
There's a few people that
we say we
follow
don't.
Us.
That we say we don't put it, but we do.
We say we don't what?
We say we don't put a lot into polls, but then we do.
Yeah, well, when you're like sitting there and if you're forced to, have just one big overview of what is going on in the election, does it look like Donald Trump is winning? Absolutely. But when you're talking about a political party that doesn't need a whole lot to do what they do. And they are capable of doing anything. And they continue to show us that they're willing to go to any length to make things go in their favor. You know, I'd want to see, I'm talking like 10% or more.
I'm telling you.
That would make me feel a
That's
little
where
bit
I think,
better.
That's where I think it is. I do think it's 10%, but the national media will never tell you that. And then, of course, I just get concerned with all of this. I mean, you literally, just think about this. Not one Democrat in Congress voted against getting rid of non-citizens voting. Not one Democratic congressperson, not one. They all recently voted for every non-citizen, every illegal. You're illegal. That means every lawbreaker. They voted for every lawbreaker in this country who is here illegally to vote.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's what they're trying to do. That's the only thing that scares me, because I know Americans are too damn smart. They know. America's awake. They are. They know what's going on for the most part. Yeah. Not everybody, but for the most part. That's why I don't think this is even close. And I know they're trying to tell us it is, but I don't.
Well, and I think maybe it was Glenn that just said, you know, we are smart and we are awake. And every day, you know, the GOP is trying to, you know, go after the illegal activities on the left, and then nothing happens. And it's because we can't get ahead because, you know, whether it's the deep state, you've got the judicial system that is just stacked with people that absolutely hate Trump.
I still think something's going to happen before Tuesday. And
it might.
I'm uneasy.
Like I said, nothing would surprise me.
You know why?
Absolutely
because
nothing.
I can't imagine a campaign going any better right now.
No.
As I've said, and I've been saying it, and I've been saying this for months. Mm-hmm. You're talking about, and this isn't just opinion, this is evidence of seeing and rallies and things that have been said, and support for one candidate, no support for the other candidate, or limited. It's not even freaking, it's not even, I can't remember. And of course, like I said, I have a background in politics. I've loved it since I was a kid, and a political reporter of all races for 15 years. And then 2+ here. I've never seen anything this unbalanced when it comes for everything going right, perfect campaign, support that you actually witness and see all over the country, liberal states, conservative states, and then it not there for the other candidate. And the only thing propping up the other candidate is media and hype.
Yeah, propaganda.
Media and hype. That's why I'm like, I don't see it being, quote, 2%, because they're all saying it's close. Even the Trump campaign is saying, and just to be fair, because we are fair, the Trump campaign has said, well, it's a close race. And that's what they're supposed to say. You can't come out and say we're kicking the shit out of them. This is why they've done, and that's why coaches, even the best coaches, don't say, yeah, we're going to kick their ass on Saturday. They're like, oh no, even if they're a winless team, like they do some good things, you know, they're a good team. And you know what I'm talking about, Megan.
Mm-hmm, I do.
So the Trump campaign is doing everything perfect, even down to last night with Trump wearing the orange vest as if he was a trash collector.
He's amazing. I mean, and everywhere the man goes, people just come out and just for miles and miles just to see him drive by, just, you know, just
and Trump like polls and Trump even polls 6 to 7% higher every election than what the polls have him now. So add that on as well.
All right. Well,
I know
I can
it's
see
crazy.
that the people love him. I truly do. I don't see that kind of love for Kamala Harris. I didn't see it with Joe Biden. And I don't. I think that, again, we say this all the time. The only reason that people are going to vote left, it's not because they love Kamala Harris. It's not because they love the policies that she's laying down for us. It's not what the cleanup that she wants to do for what her and her boss have caused, you know, in America the last 4 years. It's not that. It's because they absolutely are so scared of Donald Trump, because he's going to come in. He wants to do things the right way. And you know what? He's going to start holding people accountable. And I think that that's the biggest thing that the left is afraid of. He is going to go down the line. You know what? And if he sits down with a list, you know, of people that he wants to check off first day in office, I back him 110%, because that's what he needs to do. He needs to start getting rid of the people that don't love America, that are doing things solely for power and solely for the votes, the future votes. I mean, how can you sit down and say that you love America and continue to allow these people into our country that we're not ready for. We don't have the resources for. It's juvenile. It's I don't know. But anyway, where am I going with this?
And as I look at
I'm all worked up.
No, I just love to listen. You're a great balance to me. And I always give you compliments because you're excellent at this. And as I look down at my phone, I see another major voting fraud situation coming out of Virginia now, where tens of thousands of voters are still in bat. They're trying to get off as well. I mean, this is frustrates the hell out of me. Why is this happening just a couple of days before?
You guys, I'm not surprised. I literally.
And mainstream media will never, ever, 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 ever show you that stuff. And this comes on the heels of the Republicans winning in Bucks County yesterday. I mean, national media is not going to tell you, but there was voter suppression that was going on where people were not allowed to vote. They cut off a line. They would not let them vote.
Jeannie just said, if she gets in, World War III is on our trail. And I hate to say it, but I think that too. I really do. I think that that people are just sitting and just waiting to see what's going to happen. And how sad is that? That we know it, and some of us pay attention to it and some don't, and I'm okay with that. I pay a lot of attention to what's going on around the world as far as wars are concerned. And it does. That scares me to death to know that these people know that if Donald Trump gets in, he's going to come back like he did when he was in office, and he's going to say, oh, hell no.
Donald Trump is ready to take out the trash,
That's
Megan.
Right.
And we're here to support him as garbage, and we're here to support him after everything that man has been through, him, his family, his team, his attorneys. And you wonder why they want to come out and say what they say because of all of these things that are going on. And then at the end of the day, we still have all of the freaking problems that we had from Kamala and Joe with the illegals running all around this country. And not just from a crime standpoint. Democrats will say, oh, well, they don't make up that much of a percentage. And it's like, wait a second. One woman being raped, one kid being raped is enough, not to mention the murders that are happening, the thefts and everything else that shouldn't even be here. Then we get out of the safety standpoint. Then we start talking about the inflation standpoint. Then we start talking about the money support and how they're being supported and their $13,000 EBT cards. Let's get real. You want to have some real conversations? Come on the show, talk to us, but you're going to get put in your place because we are educated and we're pretty damn smart on these things that are happening in this country and the money that's being paid out for illegals. Come on, anytime. You're welcome, but you're going to get put in your place because there's no argument for having illegals here. I always like to say it. You're dumb or you're evil or maybe both.
No. And you know what? If they want to come and do it the right way and do it legally, there's a process. And during that process, that allows us to.
I'm tired of seeing legal Americans suffer physically
Completely.
And financially,
Yeah.
and we have to call it out. And you can't be nice and you need to do this. That doesn't get us anywhere. You have to be direct. You have to have a backbone.
The people that want want this, and the people that say that they want to allow illegals, whether to decriminalize them, no deportation, asylum, just open arms left and right, just allow these people to come in. I truly would love to know if they have any experience seeing American citizens that are living under the poverty line, if they have any experience speaking to people whose kids are in some of our schools in America are so bad to begin with. Now they're getting flooded with more and more kids. So do these people that are so eager to just open arms, these people, do they have any clue what is going on in our country? What is happening in our own backyard? How we don't even have the right and efficient resources for our own people? That's just what absolutely blows my mind. But, it's that whole the virtue signaling. Oh, like, Mark Kaysen said the other day, oh my gosh, I love that we keep letting illegals in. I think we need more. What in the world? Where do you come from? Yeah. So anyway, I
lost their minds.
Yeah. So that whole thing, but again, I think that we are going to continue to see things happen over the next several days. I think that we're going to start seeing issues, as the left is going to call it. That's
I just
getting
can't
busted.
It's everything is going too damn well for Trump campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Trump campaign 2024. This is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said that. I'm like, I'm not wishing it. I'm not putting it out in the atmosphere.
Yep.
I've been saying weird things, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't see anything. I mean,
well, and I want Trump, I'm like, okay, you know what? Because
I hope we can squeeze through to Tuesday, but I'm like,
I want him to stay home. I want him to stay home on lockdown. I do. I want him to stay home on lockdown.
Man.
I want his wife to be on lockdown. I want Barron to be on lockdown. I want them all to be all housed up with major security around outside, because you guys, it's coming down to the wire. And they know that this guy, the Trump train, is
choo-choo.
I mean, it's on. Can you imagine these nut jobs? Just look at the 2 nut jobs that, the assassination attempts on him. Can you imagine how many of them are out there? Just gotta get them.
I have an attorney friend of mine, acquaintance friend. We're respectful to each other. He's a hardcore Antifa left dude, literally St. Louis County attorney.
He's Antifa?
Oh, he won't tell you he's Antifa, but he is. He and hopefully we'll get him on the show at some point, but his messages on Facebook, and I mean, he is just hardcore. I'm like, what the?
What do you mean?
Just mean, nasty. And it's like, where are you getting this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
They're out for blood. They get triggered.
Well, they do get triggered.
This is a man who is
have
smart
a lot of
with
mental
books.
issues. They really,
very
really
respectful to me, which is why I'm going to have him on the show at some point.
Yeah.
But they're so damn triggered.
See, the people that get triggered easy like that, I don't trust. They're the ones that have the daggers, not only in their front pockets, but their back pockets, in their lapel, and just as soon as you turn around, they'll get you. I don't trust them.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
I really don't.
Hey, let me get our ads in here really quick to the people. We love any support that you can give us. At cancelthisshow.com, we have a donate button. Anything helps us. We are grateful. We love doing the show. We do it for you. We do it for people throughout the Midwest, around this country, conservatives. We do it for Democrats. We want everybody to join us. It takes a lot of money to do this. We have a great production value. We put out a lot of information. We spend a lot of studio time in here. If you can donate anything, we're grateful. And we're thankful for you who have donated, whatever it is. Anything helps us continue to push this thing forward. You can go to cancelthisshow.com. We have a donate button where it's on Venmo. There's a Cash App. We are grateful for any support. We're grateful for complete auto body repair throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. 5 locations, anything with your vehicle from A to Z, even the freaking tires that get you in, they get you out. They don't nickel dime you. They sell cars as well. Yes, that's right. Lots of cars. And on top of it all, they have several jobs. They own towing companies. They are always looking to hire. It's a terrific company. People go there. They stay there because working for Curtis is what it's about. When you go there, please let them know. Please let them know that you appreciate them advertising with Cancel This, because there's a shop I know. They tell us, heck, in Cowdleville, I think it is. Oh, yeah, we have people that come in all the time and they have repeat business. So we're grateful for you guys doing that and letting them know. Also, Dave Gregory. You brought up Dave Gregory earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Conservativeinjurylawyer.com, conservativeinjurylawyer.com. Don't forget to vote for Dave. And if you don't live in West St. Louis County, make sure your friends and family know, because the attacks on Dave have been absolutely insane. $600,000 coming in from Soros PAC to try to defeat Dave, a state Senate, were there 12, 13 of those in the state, trying to take him out, trying to take Dave out. It's crazy. Why are they so $600,000? That money's not even being spent in the governor's race to try to go after Mike Kehoe. But Dave Gregory, they're going after. So if you know anybody, get the word out. He's leading in all the polling, but you never know what can happen, because they are going at ads every night against him, and they only attack one issue: abortion. One issue: abortion. Going after Dave because he's a true conservative. It's crazy.
God forbid Dave not want children to be murdered.
Yeah, at 9 months.
God forbid.
No, at 9 months. And God forbid Dave Gregory being against kids being allowed to get sex change surgeries. Kids, sex change surgeries without their parents knowing. And that's what the left is doing, going after Dave Gregory. Think about that. That's why Dave is a man who's not afraid to say, I am a personal injury attorney, and I am a conservative, and I don't care what you think about it. Those are the types of leaders we need in this country. That's Trump-esque right there.
It's a good man.
And if you've been involved in any sort of a personal injury case, I've been in 2 of them, got hit twice. Joe's been hit twice. We both go through Dave. And when you tell Dave, you know about him from Cancel This, he's going to give you 5% more back that his firm would get instead of taking it for his firm. So your settlement would be even larger. You can't go wrong. Give him a call, 314-619-4230. Once again, 314-619-4230. Or you can email him at conservativeinjurylawyer.com. But be sure to tell him that you heard about him on Cancel This. And maybe it's a friend or family member that's going through something. Dave does it all. Any personal injury case from that standpoint. Of course, we can't forget, we love our friends at Wendy's. Wendy's in the Chesterfield Valley and in Defiance. Good times, great food. I mean, you talk to 7 different people, they may have 7 different food items that they love. You don't just go there once, you keep going back. And of course, what makes it even better at the end of the day, Ben and Marla have supported this show from the get-go. Ben is involved. Ben loves it. And when I met Ben, Ben was a hardcore Democrat. He may still be a Democrat because he grew up in Manhattan in Long Island. But at the other point of the state, he goes, you know what? He's like, Trump's the best thing for this country right now. He is. He's like, doesn't mean I like him. But when you look at the candidates that the Democrats are putting up there, what choice do I have? Love the fact that he has swallowed his pride at the door doing that. And he's just a great guy. And you want to support great local businesses who do a lot of things for the community. Also, Playoff Sports Bar and Grill, in O'Fallon. Detroit Mike, loving the Lions these days. He's behind supporting the show. Playoffs. If you're out in the area, stop in. Ask for Detroit Mike. Tell him you appreciate advertising with Cancel This, with cancelthisshow.com. Check it out. I'm going to get there for some Lions games. Appreciate it. Good time at Playoffs in O'Fallon, Missouri. It is in the Triad Center West in O'Fallon, Missouri. Also, we're grateful for Ben Lawler, Tom James Clothing. There's nothing like getting some tailor-made clothing. You have a huge selection. The fit is great, and the price may shock you at what you can get. They represent brands all over the world. Ben is a super dude. He came in here. He talked to us. If you need something quick, get to them because they can get that stuff made fairly quickly, especially with holiday seasons coming up. You're going to find all kinds of great clothing. Heck, the clothes that I have on right now, made by Ben Lawler. And when it comes to real estate, you need to put a plan in place. Megan Livingstone is your person. You can't be up and down all around. You have to stay positive with this. You have to have a confident approach, one that you can stick to because things are going to go haywire at times. 314-249-1708, 314-249-1708, or you can contact her, Megan.Livingstone at exprealty.com. That's Megan.Livingstone at exprealty.com. I know it takes some time, but we're appreciative that we have people advertising with us, supporting us how they can so that we can get on the air. Because once again, lots of people try to do podcasts. It's not easy. Podcast production is not easy. Daily shows and multiple shows are not easy. The production of it is not easy. The time that it takes to put this stuff together, it is not easy, but this is the most important time of our lives, which is why we ask for your support all the time so that we can continue to do this thing if you like it. So if you know of people that want to partner with us when we end the show, we also have an ad talking about what we do, but contact me, Vic at cancelthisshow.com. Once again, Vic at cancelthisshow.com. And man, I just can't believe we've been talking about this election for a year and a half. We'll be back on Monday and we're going to be talking about Amendment 3, which is a big deal in Missouri and other places. We just kind of talked about a little bit with Dave Gregory. I'm sorry. You can't get behind, and even the left admits that abortion is murder, especially at 9 months. How can you back something that is going to take a life at 9 months and back something that's going to allow kids to have sex change surgeries without their kids even knowing? And that's a fact. That's what becomes legal with Amendment 3.
Yes.
Do people really know that? So we're going to get into more of that coming up on Monday too. It just blows my mind that that's actually something that somebody thought was a good idea to actually put on the book. So maybe we can have people vote for this.
Well, and speaking of protecting kids, before we go, happy Halloween, everyone. And I love Halloween. I think it's great. I think it's super fun for the kids to be able to go out and run around. It's one of the few kid things that are left to do.
I love Halloween.
I know. And
Halloween,
I love watching the kids run around.
Halloween parties are fun. It's just people are joyful.
Yes. But all I want to say is just make sure that you pay attention to your kids. I'm not going to say check your candy like my mom and dad used to make us do when we were little, when you get home. But just make sure that if you're not walking up to the door with your kids, make sure that your kids don't tell the neighbors or whoever they're trick-or-treating at. They don't need to give their name. So if someone goes, oh, Johnny, what's your name? Or, what's your name and where do you live and whatever. No names. Don't tell anybody where they live. Get their candy, tell a joke.
Dang, I wasn't even thinking about
and
that.
go home.
You can always go as Donald Trump too.
Yes.
I like that.
Or garbage or trash.
Yeah, trash bags.
Yes.
It's like Donald Trump.
Have a great, and it might not rain, which is weird because I feel like it's cold and rainy every Halloween, but did we get all the rain out of our system? Well, here in St. Louis, I'm not sure about everywhere else, but anyway, stay dry, have fun.
Yeah, lots of people were woken up to sirens and alarms and phones going off throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. It happens when you have severe weather. Allegedly, I don't know if there was a tornado that touched down. I think Megan told me she thought might have been one in Cottleville or in the St. Louis metropolitan area.
Somebody on the chat line earlier was saying that their sirens were going off at like 2:30 a.m. So
yeah, your phone didn't beep.
Mine didn't.
Beep. Are you what?
No, mine didn't go off.
Did yours go off, Joe?
I'm way up in Lincoln County. No, it didn't.
No.
Okay, mine in St. Louis. I'm in St. Louis County.
Yeah, no.
In Creve Coeur, it was going off.
I didn't
crazy.
even hear anything.
Megan's in St. Charles County was going off.
Huh.
Insane. No. Greg in North County, his was going off. Your phone, it sounds like the Amber Alert.
Yeah,
and it's for a tornado warning.
Get it. No.
And you're not a great sleeper, you say, right? You're a light sleeper.
No, I'm a light sleeper. Yeah, and I mean, I always have my phone on in case one of my kids, call or whatever, or need me downstairs. I always leave it on, but no, I didn't hear anything. Not a sound.
Yeah, St. Charles County sirens were sounding. Don't forget to reboot your phone. We're getting that from the chat line. News showed it was right over our house, Cindy. Sorry to hear that. Fluorescent was going off. Yeah, these are the local people that listen and support our show. Well, Fallon got it. Yeah, I mean, it was, yeah. Pam says, gotta go. County. Great show. Pray. Mm-hmm. And somebody said that Harris feels the need to wear a bulletproof vest. I don't know. Whatever. I mean,
well, I said
I don't
to
want
you
anybody
guys,
getting hurt.
Said, why is Biden now all of a sudden using bulletproof glass in front of him when he's talking? The few times that he is out, have you guys noticed that?
Yeah, you got to fit in,
I guess you got to do the cool thing. Not everybody just wants to take Donald Trump out. They want to take me out too.
Yeah, Jefferson County at 3 a.m. Some people said they slept right through it. Jeannie's Dragon today. We know how that is as well. Yeah, I get it. All right, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, share the show. Let people know about our show when they're out. Send them a link. That helps as well. Yes. And we're off tomorrow, but we'll be back Monday, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to kickstart the week. Continuing on, feel free to let us know about stories, possible advertisers, people who might get behind us to support us, any of that as we continue to move on. So thank you again for helping us. Thank you again for listening. Thank you for making the People's Podcast one of the best that we see on that platform because it's about you. Yes. So for Pro Joe and Megan Marie, I'm Vic Faust. Thanks for joining us.
See you Monday.
Your brand's presence. Partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO-targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk. and make an impact together.